Next hearing, we have the Juvenile Court Clerk before us. That is Mr. David Smith. I will allow him to introduce his guest before he gives his presentation. But before you do that, Mr. Smith, if you could just let the council know, are you satisfied with the mayor's proposal for your department?
We are satisfied with the mayor's proposal.
All right, you can continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. To my right is Julia Sloss, the Director of Operations and Budget Analyst for our office and former council member. To my left is Stephanie Burchett, who is our new finance office, bookkeeping department manager. As you recall, last year, Miss Haley List was here with us, who has gone out to pursue her career as an attorney. And then Miss Talisa Phelps, who is our office manager and oversees the interior of the office with the employee and the staffs. First off, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here today and to sum up some of the things that we have done over the past year. I could sit here and talk about accomplishments all day long. I know last year and the year before, this is my third budget hearing here before you, that we talked about the victims' compensation accounts, which we located back 2 years ago, 174 recipients of the victims' comp accounts that were outstanding, and we are currently today current on those accounts, which we have over 300 of, and hold over $1 million, a little over $1 million in those accounts. We started the year off with a internal audit that we requested when we were elected back in 2010, and the audit started in December of 2012 and concluded, 2011, and concluded in June of last year. And the results of that audit were very satisfactory for our office. We had received a 78% favorable rating from the general public and the attorneys doing business with our office. We had 3 notations that were some findings that they came up with that we have looked at and corrected since the return of the audit came back. We have some of our accomplishments over the last year. We have successfully transitioned the 4D child support accounts where we were taking child support payments at our window. We've transitioned that now straight to the state of Tennessee, so at the state receiving unit at Metro Center, where they make their payments there, which cuts out the middleman and helps the recipient get the child support payment in a quicker manner as far as the mom or dad, whoever the recipient is, receiving that payment, so we don't have to go through 3 channels in order for them to get that. We're continuing cross-training on all employees so that when we have people that are out working with less staff members, so that everybody in the office is familiar with the day-to-day operations. So if we have to have someone step into a clerk's position in the courtroom, outside of bookkeeping, or someone take over a role in the window, taking petition filings and things outside of bookkeeping, we're able to do that. We have, with the help of the computer fund, we've been able to staff a desktop scanner for each staff member and each courtroom staff clerk, so that everything is scanned. We're still current as we started that project, thanks to the help of the Metro Council 2 years ago when that money was appropriated. We were able to provide desktop scanners for every staff member, and everything is current on that. We want to continue on our goals, continue cross-training our staff. We look for ways to improve our service and process work with the state agencies. For example, the state of Tennessee still to this day sends out the wage assignment orders by bulk mail. We receive roughly 100 of those things every other day in the mail, and we've talked to the state about doing those electronically, and I don't think the state has the ability. They may have the ability, but I think by law and statute there's something written that says it has to be done in a paper form. So as Ricky alluded to a little while ago, I think the state is trying to present legislation to stop doing that so that it can cut back on postage and things of that way. But we also We also have started emailing a lot of orders as they come down from the judge or the magistrates. We've started emailing orders back to the attorneys to try to cut back on postage. But working with Judge Crawford and her staff has worked. I mean, it's great to have a working relationship with the court side, and working hand in hand with them has just really been great. We had that relationship with Judge Green, and we continue that relationship with Judge Crawford and her staff. But other than that, I mean, we're pleased to be here. I'm excited about the progress and the accomplishments we've made over the 2.5 years that we've been in office, and the changes we've made and the improvements, and we hear a lot of positive things and very few negative things about the office, and if we hear anything negative, we try to correct it immediately, and I appreciate the service that you all provide, and we're here to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councilmember Taggart.
Thank you, and thanks for the good job you're doing, David. And Julius, it brings back some memories seeing you in this chamber, so welcome back.
Thank you.
Mostly good. I'm interested in following up on the email where you're sending these to the judges. Where is your database kept of these email addresses, and who manages that database?
Which email addresses?
The signed orders you're sending back to the attorney.
To the attorneys?
Yes.
Yeah, each courtroom clerk who is assigned to that particular magistrate keeps it in their data and their computer system.
Okay, so there's no master attorney. There is.
There's a master list, but we distributed that to each courtroom.
You've got a mic in front of you, Julius, there. Councilman Harmon will turn.
Councilman, there is a master list that we distributed to each of the courtroom clerks. However, as new attorneys come online, each courtroom clerk has pretty much built their own list as well for their particular courtroom. I mean, we've got 8 different courtrooms, including the judge. So,
but does Metro manage that, or you all have it on like an Excel file?
Ours it's stored JIS.
Okay, JIS system.
Stores,
okay.
Yeah, and they not only store it in one location, but they also have another backup location.
Would this database be potentially used by other clerks or other people that need to stay in contact with attorney? Because the issue is, how does Metro cut down on the number of databases that each department and each agency and each individual is maintaining, as opposed to one centralized database that this clerk or this person could access?
I'm not familiar with all of Metro, but I know JIS, Justice Integration Systems, they service the juvenile court clerk's office, but they also service the court, the criminal court clerk's office, the DA's office, I believe, as well as the police department. So they've got all of your justice-related agencies they service.
Is in there. Well, that's good. That's a step in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Hunn.
Thank you, Chairman. First, let me say I appreciate you coming, David, and I really think you got a tremendous staff over there. I've passed through there and, took the tour, and I really believe that you have a staff that have the talents and ability to keep you where you need to be, and I think that's commendable to you to select that type of staff. Going back to that database, I remember when they came up with the GIS, that GIS serves all the judicial system in Nashville. That's what it's for. And I think it's a separate entity from the department's general government. And I think that's the way they got it set up. But then again, Mr. Smith, I really appreciate the wonderful job you guys do. And I heard that every one of the files over there are locatable.
They are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Stein.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. David, I think it may have not been last year, but it may have been 2 years ago. You were getting everything into order, including fleet. And as I recall, there was an issue about a half of an automobile or somewhere that wasn't accounted. Have you all found that half of an automobile in the last?
I believe that car flooded in the May 10 flood, and has been replaced. But
So we lost it
we lost
entirely and
we
had to
lost the
replace
car.
it. Thank you. And I want to just second, clearly you and the judge and you had been working closely with Judge Green and now with Judge Crawford. You all are working in tandem to do this thing right for young people in our community, and I commend all of you all on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember. Seeing no other council members in the queue, that completes your departmental budget hearing. Thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you.